Greetings and welcome to another installment brought to you by Mohamed, Marrzooqi Advocates and Consultancy, leading legal experts. How to distinguish between occupational injuries and other injuries. A occupational injury is defined by Article 1 of the UAE Labour Law as an injury to a worker in any of the work-related diseases listed in the schedule attached to the labour law, or any other injury sustained by a worker during and by reason of carrying out his duties. Any accident sustained by a worker on his way to or back from work shall be considered an occupational injury, provided that the journey to and from his work is made without any break, lingering or diversions from the normal route. Based on this definition, we are able to identify cases of diseases and injuries that can be considered an occupational injury. Firstly, a worker's injury to an occupational disease. The diseases are listed in Table 1 attached to the Labour Law. In order to be considered an occupational injury, the occupational disease suffered by the worker must be mentioned in this table, in addition to another condition that there is a relation between the occupational injury and the nature of the occupation. So if the worker is poisoned with petroleum products, which is an occupational disease listed in the table, and the worker has been exposed to the poisoning works in the petroleum treatment plant, there is a causal relationship between the occupational disease that the worker suffered and the nature of the profession that he practices, and therefore they have certainly suffered an occupational injury because the two mentioned conditions are fulfilled. Secondly, an injury as a result of an accident occurred during or due to a work-related activity. It's known that an accident, in order to be called an accident, the event would have occurred not by the will of the worker and also occurred suddenly and harmed the worker. In the absence of these elements, the event is not considered an accident. For an accident to be considered an occupational injury, it requires the injury be done during or due to the performance of work, and there are two cases. So if the accident occurred during the performance of work in a place of work, or even if the accident had not occurred because of the work itself, for example, if the worker skated on the floor of a lab where he worked and broke his arm, this shall be considered an occupational injury regardless of the nature of the work. The employee here is working during his normal working hours and under the supervision of the employer. The accident is due to work, such as the case of chemical poisoning as a result of continuous exposure to chemicals, as the work itself in this case is the cause of the worker's injury. Thirdly, the injury of the worker during the journey to and from work. This includes the original place of work or any other place of work where the work has been temporarily assigned to work. A work injury shall also include any accident sustained by a worker on his way to or from or back from home or any other place where he resides temporarily. If the worker is obliged to, due to illness of a family member, sleep at a hospital as a co-patient, and this worker was subjected to an accident whilst he was going to the hospital after he left his work, this situation would be considered an occupational injury. But the legislator, in the case of occupational injury sustained by a worker on his way to or back from his work, has stipulated that the journey should be without breaks, lingering or diversions from the normal route. As we can see, according to the core of this video, we have drawn clear, precise boundaries between occupational injuries and other injuries that might occur due to workers, according to the legislator's view of the United Arab Emirates Labour Law. So today's video is brought to you by Mohamed Marrzooqi Advocates and Consultancy, leading legal experts. We have offices in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. We are waiting for your call. Please contact us for your consultation. Otherwise, you can visit our website, which is www.ml-advocates.com.